2 out. And while all eyes are on the edge of that dugout, we remind you Major League Baseball is giving away World Series tickets for life and other great prizes. Winning hologram numbers will be announced during games 1 through 4 of the 2003 World Series on Fox. Visit your neighborhood Radio Shack store for your chance to win.
Well, there is no move for Scott Sauerback to pitch to Giambi. Perhaps there would have been one if Jeter's on.
Shift on the infield. The outfielders spread way out for Boston defensively.
Up scope.
2-0 on Giambi.
I'd say, Timmy, if this is probably his last hitter, I would think. If Giambi reaches, probably turn Bernie around.
If you're going to do that, why not bring in Sauerback?
No situation. Nobody on base. And Derek's still throwing the ball well.
He's 3-0 on Giambi. With 2 out, nobody on.
We might get to see.
We might. He's swinging here. Oh man, how can you take that pitch?
Why?
You got a
why?
You know, it's 3-14
here's why.
down the line.
Here's why. On a 3-0 count. Now, why am I going to swing 3-0 when he just threw me 3 balls? I'm going to let him walk me. Now,
2 out, nobody on.
Especially when I know I'm going to get the same pitch 3-1.
Well, we'll see. Outside corner.
And it was a slider.
It was outside corner, so he didn't get the same pitch.
I'm wrong again. Gee, what am I going to do with McCarver? This guy hasn't played in years, and he's showing me up.
It's the makeup that's getting.
I'm telling you, that would be my approach in the box. If I got a guy out there throwing, and I know I'm going to get a fastball 3-1, or think I'm going to, I'm going to take the 3-0.
And a base hit as a result.
He was doing
anyway on a 3-2 pitch, and we'll see if Sauerback's coming in to take on Bernie Williams.
And I'm right again.
You are indeed.
Boy, what a quick rally by you. Yay for me.
I am on fire.
You're 1 for 1.
Timmy, you want to get into a discussion about this?
Not anymore.
Okay.
The definitive word for the all-star second baseman for the Mariners wearing makeup here tonight.
What are you talking about?
Hey, let's be honest with the people of America. You don't roll out of bed looking that bronze.
It looked like.
Oh
Brady,
no!
It looked like Brady went out there and asked Lowe whether he wanted to stay in the game, whether he still thought he had it.
If that's the case, and you know what these Red Sox players are like, if you ask, you know what answer you're going to get.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, why is Sauerback warming up?
Why swing 3-0?
Because it's a chance to put another marker on the board. It's 3-14 down the line.
Well, what if you okay, now if you got second and third, no outs. Now my best chance of getting a fastball is 3-0 with a base open, right? So now I'm going to swing 3-0. Because 3-1, who knows? He might try to trick me.
We'll talk about this later.
Bernie Williams.
Jimmy, I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Off the inside corner, ball 1. But you brought up I think the most important point. If you're not going to bring Sauerback in for Giambi, okay, but if Giambi reaches with a hit and you have your choice to turn Bernie Williams around and have him bat right-handed, and you don't do it, why is Sauerback getting loose?
I think Timmy had it, or did you say it, Joe?
Doesn't matter. We're a team here.
When he went out to the mound, I think he gave Lowe the option of, you want this guy. If he saw any negativity from Lowe, I think you would have seen the change made.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 on, 2 out. And now it's 3-0.
Well, the one guy he will not, I'm probably wrong about this too, but the one guy he will not give the 3-0 hit sign to is Bernie Williams. Joe Torre rarely does that. We talked earlier about he doesn't have Bernie hit and run, and he doesn't give him the 3-0 hit sign.
Posada, another switch hitter on deck. Ball 4.
He was swinging too, wasn't he?
You're wrong again.
Not wrong. 0 for 3 this inning. Hang with him.
Well, there's some guys that do not like to hit 3-0. You
true.
feel as if, man, if I swing 3-0, I better do something big.
Grady Little's coming out to make the pitching change. Sauerbeck is coming in. We're going to have a pinch runner. Giambi's going to be lifted. So all sorts of moves with 2 on, 2 out in the 7th of a 4-2 game.
Of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
David DeLucci is the pinch runner out at second base for Giambi. Bernie Williams on at first. And Sauerbeck is into the action. Jorge Posada at the plate, but he brings Sauerbeck in a spot where a base hit adds a precious run for the Yankees. 4-2 here in the 7th. And a ball inside. Tim, I've worked with you long enough to know that you and I agree that the Red Sox and Grady Little went with Derek Lowe at least one batter too long.
I think so. I mean, to me, if Sauerbeck, the left-hander, is warming up, he's got to pitch to Giambi with 2 out, nobody on, and not get in a situation like this.
A 1-0 pitch is hammered into left center field. Back is Kepler. This ball is up against. 2 runs are going to score, and the Yankees tack on 2 big ones. It's 6-2.
You can see where Veritek is setting up, and Scott Sauerbeck, who has had a tough time with his control and location since coming over from Pittsburgh, right down the pipe.
Now Matsui takes a strike. Matsui 1 for 3 tonight. That gets away from Veritek, and Posada will scoop the 3rd.
Probably a pass ball on Jason Veritek, a ball that sailed a little bit on him right at the end. Plus, he's sitting inside. The pitch is away, and more of an indication how Sauerbeck is missing and how far he's missing.
It is a pass ball. And it's a runner at 3rd, 2 out for Matsui. Strike 2. Now a 4-run lead with a chance for another. And Contreras may stay in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's an interesting point and certainly a possibility. The Yankees have taken it out of save range with the 4-run lead.
But then the question is, save or no save, how much do you want to play around with game 2?
Right, especially with an off day tomorrow.
Now it's 3-2 on Matsui. Runner at 3rd, 2 out, 3-2 pitch. Sauerbeck walks the lefty Matsui and has another one, Nick Johnson, coming up. Johnson is homered tonight, only his 2nd hit of this postseason.
You saw those gesticulations that Veritek was going through. Those were for the middle infielders, just in case Matsui tries to steal. What Varitek's going to do with the ball. I don't think he'll be running here anyway. We'll see.
A strike on the inside corner to Nick Johnson. Slashed foul, strike two. Two huge runs put up on the board by New York here in the 7th inning. A 2-out hit by Giambi, a walk to Bernie Williams, then the pitching change, and then Posada, a 2-run double. A pass ball, a walk followed, and now it's 0-2 on Nick Johnson. Sauerbeck drops down, and Johnson hangs in enough to get a piece of it. How can the Pirates not be in the postseason? How did they not run away with the NL Central?
Pirates are Cincinnati.
You've got Sauerbeck on the mound. Simon is involved. Lofton is involved. Aramis Ramirez, part of the Cubs. Mike Williams was in the stretch drive with the Phillies. That is a foul ball.
About a foot.
Joe West, the third base umpire.
Aaron Boone, the third baseman with the Yankees. With Cincinnati. Scott Williamson, reliever for the Sox with Cincinnati.
Breaking ball is grounded on 2 hops to Jackson. With that, the 7th inning is history, but not before the Yankees get 2 more. Question is, will it be Contreras or Rivera? The answer to the bottom of the 7th is the Yankees get 2 and lead by 4. Manny Ramirez first up, and it is Jose Contreras back to the mound with Rivera ready if needed for either part of this 8th or the 9th as a strike is poured into Ramirez. It'll be Manny, then David Ortiz, then Kevin Millar. The heart of this Boston lineup. One of the reasons why the Yankees locked up Jose Contreras on a 4-year deal was because he had pitched in so many big games in the Cuban national team. They had success with El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, and they opened the bank vault for Contreras, who features a devastating split finger pitch.
And that was it right there. This ball just drops out of nowhere. You see a controlled, great hitter like Manny Ramirez take that swing. That's an indication of how much that ball dips.
Ramirez singled off Contreras last night. Two and two. 97 miles per hour after an 82-mile-an-hour split finger pitch. Full count. On 3 and 2. 1 out. One away here in the top of the 8th. Let's check in for another game break with Jeannie Zalasko.
Thought to be bad news for the Marlins. They think the Cubs lumber was tough. How about this wood? Kerry Wood. Tomorrow, baseball postseason continues, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Game 3 of the NLCS as the scene shifts to Miami. Kerry Wood taking the mound for the Cubs against Mark Redmond, the home of the World Series, and the GOAT.
Jeannie thanks that matchup of Wood and Redmond. As you look at that last pitch that was blown by the bat of Manny Ramirez.
Wobbling around in the glove of Jorge Posada. It ended up in the web, and Ramirez a strikeout victim.
Ortiz takes strike one. Kerry Wood in that divisional series against Atlanta, 2-0. His 2 starts, winning the decisive Game 5. An ERA under 2. He piled up the strikeouts as David Ortiz gets a whiff of one from Contreras.
A little more animation here at Yankee Stadium. Could be a purpose to that high inside fastball. Probably is. Ortiz straightened up.
A guy like Ortiz has hit 7 home runs against the Yankees this season. If it was unintentional, it came at a good time for the Yankees to let Ortiz and the Red Sox know that they're not playing around.
Well, on Saturday, you're going to see a few hitters straightened up, too, with Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens pitching against one another.
2-1 to Ortiz. Now it's 3-1. Pedro Martinez earlier this season hit 2 of the Yankees' best. Soriano and Jeter. As Ortiz pops it up. Aaron Boone. That's out number 2. We go back to July. Hit Soriano on the hand. And then hit Jeter. Trip to the hospital after the game, and minimal time was missed.
That was a game won by Andy Pettit and the Yankees 2-1. I believe that was the last regular season game played between these 2 teams at Yankee Stadium.
With 2 out, Millar takes a strike.
Oh, he's throwing a cutter too. That's a new pitch. The cutter.
Veritek on deck. It's 6-2 Yankees here in the 8th. Millar, pretty good rip, but got under it. And Jeter wants it. Inning over. 4 faced by Jose Contreras, and all 4 retired. Bottom of the 8th. Here in the Bronx. Beautiful night, 67 degrees. It's 6-2 Yankees.
Introducing the new full-size 305 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder Armada. It's got room for 8 people and all their stuff. It's a full-size SUV for your full-size adventures.
May I say one thing?
Ebert and Roper give Kill Bill 2 thumbs way up. Rolling Stone raves, wildly funny and inventive.
Mommy, I'm home. Hey, baby. How was school?
And Newsweek declares it's astonishing.
No kidding.
Now, if any of you've got anything else to say, now's the time!
Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. Rated R. In theaters tomorrow.
Let's say this is your car. Nice hardtop. If you drive safely, meaning you do stuff like obey the speed limit, always check your blind spot, and avoid accidents, hey, watch it, lead foot, then Allstate could reward you with something you'll eat right up. Some green. Up to 20% off your insurance bill. It's the Allstate Safe Driver Discount. Call today and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate. Hey, this is for the safe driver. Here you go.
program in the first, $4.
Summer wind.
Snacks in the fourth, $25.
From across the sea.
A soda at the end of the seventh, $3.
It lingered there.
Friday night, no TV, DVDs, or video games. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Devoted fan of Major League Baseball.
The League Championship Series on Fox brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By the new film from Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill Volume 1, in theaters everywhere. Starting Friday, October 10th, rated R. By MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Old Navy Painter's Pants, they'll work for you. Coming up next, late local news, except for those of you on the West Coast. Arnold Schwarzenegger has said you cannot have your late local news coming up after this game, so we won't allow it. Bad misses down and in for ball one.
Arnie.
One of the new changes. Aaron Boone, Kareem Garcia, and Alfonso Soriano. Bronson Arroyo is on the mound for Boston, taking over for Sauerbeck, who did not fare well. Allowed a two-run double, walked the lefty Matsui, but Johnson grounded out to end what was a two-run seventh for New York. Big break to that pitch. One out as Boone strikes out. Still hitless in this series. In tonight's game summary brought to you by Nissan. The starters, Pettit, struggled early, but settled down after the first two. Johnson, a two-run shot. Varitek homered. Red Sox 7 straight losses in game 2 of postseason series, and Ed Hillel and Josh Mandelbaum not present, but still think Walker home run was foul from game 1. That brought to you by Nissan, and there's Rivera getting loose. And even though Contreras is rolling, if nothing else, they want to get Rivera some work. Been in the game since Saturday. Went 2 innings at the Metrodome that day, saving the game for Roger Clemens.
I think too that postseason, that 3-run lead when the closer comes in, I think that changes. And I think they treat a 4-run lead like a 3-run. You got to win this. It's not about the numbers or whether you get the save or not.
So with 2 out, nobody on, as Clemens is sure at some point lately pondering what's to come on Saturday back at Fenway, where he was saluted. His last start there on his way out, actually came back out and acknowledged the crowd. He'll be matched up with Pedro Martinez, the same matchup we had in a game 3 back in '99, and Pedro Martinez and the Red Sox won it 13-1 with all the hype. Now Soriano is hit, and don't think that won't get the Yankees and Clemens' attention. So Ortiz was buzzed, and now Soriano.
Yeah, if this wasn't intentional, it appeared intentional, because David Ortiz, Contreras, now watch Soriano look out at Arroyo. Now he'll go to first, but wear that on Saturday.
I don't know if there's much behind that. What is the reason?
But it's the appearance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never know until you talk to a young pitcher.
But this guy hit batsmen versus each other. 23 to 50. Did I read that right?
You did. You could bet Soriano's going to be taking off. This is going to be one of those steals of vengeance right here. He's mad.
It's Jeter at the plate, and he pulls back from strike 1. Let's go down to Kenny Albert.
Well, Joe, obviously we're not sure if Arroyo hit Soriano on purpose, but as Soriano started down towards first, catcher Jason Varitek tapped him on the back a couple of times as if to say no hard feelings.
Too late. After a bruise and a lump. There's a strike, and it's 0-2 on Jeter. And again, I mean, whether it's intentional or not, they're the Pats. The appearance will be that after Ortiz got one up and in from Contreras, whether it's coincidence or not, minutes later, Soriano gets drilled with 2 out and nobody on. On 0-2.
It's part of the game. I got no problem with it.
When you're not
keep it away from my
drilled.
head. I don't mind getting drilled. That's part of it. It really is.
I'm going to remind you of that someday.
I'm just a tough guy.
The 1-2 pitch is down and in.
I'll tell you what, he drills me. I guarantee I don't make an out. Look at it that way.
Well, to Soriano's credit,
keep it away from my head, though.
Yeah, and the pitch to Ortiz was chin high.
Yeah, but it was chin high. It was out over the plate, though, if you look at the replay. It wasn't that close to his head.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Jeter strikes out, and we move into the ninth. Rivera's been getting ready. He's coming in. It's 6-2 New York after 8 here in Game 2.
Standing on the corner, watching all the guys go by. Standing on the corner, giving all the guys the eye.
Old Navy painter's pants at a price that really turns heads, starting at just $20 for men.
But you won't find a tougher pair of painters. Old Navy painters' pants go by.
You live a lot of your life between 0 and 55. No one understands that like your State Farm agent. That's why more people insure their cars with us than anyone else. Because we think car insurance should be as much about you as it is about your car.
When Taco Bell first created the Zesty Chicken Bowl, we thought we'd freshly prepare them right at your table. We still freshly prepare them, just not at your table. The Zesty Chicken Bowl. Tender slices of grilled all-white meat chicken, seasoned rice, 3 cheeses, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it, so it tastes even better. For fresh-made taste, think outside the bun.
What life strips away. The 245 horsepower V6 Nissan Altima quickly restores.
Rock is on a roll.
Yes!
The New York Times, Los Angeles Times, Time Magazine, Rolling Stone, Newsweek, USA Today, and Ebert and Roper all hail School of Rock. It's the #1 movie in America. Rated PG-13. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Mariano Rivera takes over, and he is protecting a 6-2 lead here in the 9th inning. And he has been just that. Mariano Rivera, there's been nobody better. A 0.75 ERA in his postseason career. And he has had chance after chance after chance to give it up. And this guy is as automatic as there is, especially in October. And in our view, he has been the MVP year after year for Joe Torre. At the end of the game, to be able to hand the lead or a tie game to keep it tied to Mariano Rivera, his rate of success has been phenomenal.
As we said last inning, he is the factor that distinguishes the Yankees' success over the last 8 years.
94-mile-an-hour fastball. Varitek thought it was high at strike 1. to the second baseman, Soriano. This week, Fox NFL Sunday begins, America's #1 pregame show. Then the Bucs try to rebound from that Monday night heartbreaking loss. They take on the Redskins. The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Eagles, trying to make a run. And it's the other New York-Boston battle. The Giants travel to New England. Our other regional action. It begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox. Trot Nixon now at the plate. Strike one.
When you look at Rivera, you're not talking about a strikeout pitcher. You're not talking about a ground ball pitcher. But more than anything else, he keeps the ball off the fat part of the bat. He's a trademark pitcher in every way. He breaks more bats than anybody per pitch in the big leagues.
Well, the thing that's different about him is because it is a cutter and it's in the mid-90s. There's nobody else in the game that throws a cut fastball. Even, you know, Al Leiter's probably the closest, and he's throwing around 88, 89. Nobody else is even close.
And 0-2. Still 0-2.
And he pinpoints it. He doesn't miss by a foot. He misses by an inch. He puts it right in that zone where you think you can hit it, and then especially the lefties. You either get jammed or you hit it hard foul.
Right.
As tough as he is on righties, he's much tougher on lefties.
That's Nixon. 0-2. This series is on its way back to Fenway with it evened at a game apiece. And that matchup that everybody will be talking about, already have talked about, Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez. Two out. Along with Steve Horn, who assists us here in the booth, we thank our coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on Fox, the producer of tonight's game, Michael Weissman. The director is Bill Webb. Nobody better in the game. Tape producer is Aaron Stoikov. The associate director, Kathy Hunt. Broadcast associates Eric Billigmeyer and David Duvall. With two out, nobody on. It's Todd Walker pinch hitting, and he takes ball one. If nothing else, at least this gives Walker a look at Mariano Rivera that he can catalog for later on in this series. But that's one thing. Getting a hit and making it something is another. As Walker shakes out his right hand as if it grazed him, it counts 2-0.
Or just the very thought of being hit on it, perhaps. Ow!
This crowd chanting, "We want Pedro." Two balls and a strike with two out on Todd Walker. Three and one. Pedro amused by the chant here at Yankee Stadium. 3-1 pitch. That's down the left field line, and Todd Walker has reached Rivera for a two-out hit. And Dave McCarty will walk to the plate as another pinch hitter. The VP of Field Operations, Jerry Steinberg, our technical producer, Dave Hill. Studio show produced by Gary Lang. Directed by Bob Levy. The coordinating producer of the studio show, Scott Ackerson. Technical supervisor, Jack Simmons. Senior producer of Fox Sports, Bill Brown, and the executive producers, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Janice Kazaza is the highlights supervisor. And we play here in the ninth inning with 1 on, 2 out. And here is McCarty. Walk Walker takes second uncontested.
I think the Yankee fans were more playful with Pedro Martinez then, because they're going to get him on Saturday. The Yankees know that. And you might beat him, but you're not going to intimidate him. Forget it. Unintimidatable.
0-2. The crowd at Fenway will be chanting, Roger, Roger.
What were they saying? We want Pedro. I don't think the crowd has faced him.
There were no Yankees joining in that chant. The 0-2 pitch to McCarty. The Yankees have won game 2. And this series is tied at a game apiece going to Fenway. A strong start from Pettit. They needed it out of the left-hander like they did in game 2 of the division series against Minnesota. And then lights out relief work by Contreras and Rivera.
On Saturday, in the shadows, a 4:30 start, Martinez and Clemens.
Nick Johnson, the home run to put the Yankees on top for good in the second inning. And it ends a 6-2 final here at Yankee Stadium. As the Yankees celebrate this victory, we check in with Kenny Albert. Kenny?
All right, thanks, guys. Nick Johnson, 2-run homer back in the second inning. What were you looking for from Derek Lowe, and what did you get?
Well, he's got a great sinker in that situation. I was just looking for a pitch down the middle and got a little cutter and put a good swing on it.
Andy Pettit does it again. He won game 2 in Minnesota after you guys lost game 1. Wins game 2 tonight against Boston after the loss last night. Talk about his performance.
Great. Kept him off balance. Let us swing the bats a little bit, and he held him down and got a good win.
What was the mood in the clubhouse prior to the game, knowing that if you lose tonight, you're down 0-2, heading up for games 3, 4, and 5 at Fenway?
Just come out, play hard, battle, and Andy threw a great game, and see if we score some runs.
All right, Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
Joe.
Kenny, thanks, and thanks for joining us here at Yankee Stadium. For more information on today's game and for the latest information on Major League Baseball, go to foxsports.com. For Tim McCarver, Brett Boone, and Kenny Albert, I'm Joe Buck. So long from New York. It was a game the Yankees had to have tonight. It was a game the Yankees get thanks to strong pitching by Pettit, Contreras, and Rivera, and timely hitting. Nick Johnson. Bernie Williams with a couple of hits, an RBI and 2 runs scored. Posada with the tack-on 2-out, 2-run double in the 7th. This series shaping up for a big game 3 on Saturday afternoon. Pedro Martinez, Roger Clemens back in Boston with this series knotted at a game apiece. Jeannie Zelasco and Kevin Kennedy will be along in the Fox Network Center with some final thoughts after these words. Saturday's game time, 4:14 Eastern. We hope you join us. Should be fun. From all of us in New York, so long.